We had just finished we did 2 training sessions with ABWE this week. The first session was 3 days in a curriculum called Good Soil. Good Soil is about discipleship. And then the last day is called the Moving Beyond lecture. And it's talking about how to teach, preach, lead a group in a way that is engaging. It helps your learners learn. So you can use this in any application, from being a small group Bible study leader to being a pastor, to being a missionary, to speaking at churches about your mission work. We are very excited about what we are learning, and also excited about all of the tools that they gave us, especially with the Good Soil curriculum. We have a lot of reusable materials that will serve us for many, 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 many years. You want to share a favorite part for you, Joe?
Yeah, one of the biggest things, and it's pretty central to the Good Soil training, but of what they call the E&D Scale, which is for evangelism and discipleship. But it's a scale that goes from -12 to +12 with layers the whole way through for where people are at in the knowledge and their biblical worldview.
An unsaved person starts down here and then all the way up to a leader. And so it's got different things for if you have a person at these different stages, here's some good resources. And really just knowing like where you're at in their journey. Are you still supposed to be encouraging them to come to faith, or are you supposed to be encouraging them to build their faith?
And are you helping them understand that there is only one God through the universe? Have they heard Christian concepts and they're like a little bit familiar with how Jesus wants people to live? Or do you think that Jesus might be the Messiah? Because those conversations are completely different. Taking someone who doesn't believe there's one God in the universe, that everything is God, or that there are multiple gods, and inviting them to church is not the appropriate place to do that. But just helps you understand and really dive into the different places that people can be. And are you helping till the ground in their life and in their heart? And also really just understanding that if you help someone go from -11, where there might be a force out there in the universe, if you help them get to a -7 to where they know that there is one God, I don't even know what -7 is.
Yeah,
but so many times as Christians, we feel guilty if we don't get someone across the finish line, if we don't help them receive Christ as Savior. And no, like any movement along the scale is victory. And also in the discipleship, after someone becomes a Christian, not just getting them to come to church, but are we helping them grow by reading the Bible on their own? Are we helping them participate in Christian service and love and serve others? These are heart changes, and these are steps that we're called to. But at what point do you give someone basic discipleship tools versus when do you really start to go deep and start equipping them for leadership? And the E&D Scale was just a massively helpful tool to help understand where we're going, what are some of the best tools to help us get from those points to those destinations.
That's the other thing too, is like in summary, identifying where your person is at or where yourself is at, and then where to go from there. Yeah. And the really cool thing about the whole Good Soil thing is, we came away with all these resources and we learned all these different techniques, but also we are now certified to teach the content of this curriculum to anybody who is open to it and that anybody God tells us to. Most of the time, that's not going to look like teaching all of this curriculum to any group. A lot of times it's going to be like, hey, does your small group or your church or your family want to know how to disciple more effectively? We could talk about that. Are you wanting to learn how to evangelize, like how to tell people about Jesus in the first place? One of the things that we learned about is something that's called the worldview onion, meaning that each of us has biases based on our worldview. So what I, as a woman in America, might think and feel instinctively or make choices to feel might be different than a woman on the other side of the planet or a man on the other side of the planet. And we learn techniques on how to help penetrate a person's worldview in love and curiosity in ways that help build a relationship instead of offense. And even in America is a very big country with a very diverse culture. So this is something that every American needs to know, is how to engage with someone who thinks and feels completely differently than you do, so that we can grow and learn together. And that's ultimately the goal. If you are a church or small group, soon we will be able to offer how much of this curriculum you would like to have spoken at your church or at your small group or something like that. So we are very, very excited to help other people have this knowledge too. And truthfully, excited to sit down at home and go over it again together, because it was so much information in 3 days. And the combination of the Moving Beyond lecture being how to make learning engaging, like combining those two things is going to be so much fun and so exciting.
Yeah, throughout the Good Soil training, they did a lot of activities and games and things like that to help solidify the teaching. And Moving Beyond lecture covered all of those tutors to help us understand, what are we doing, why are we doing it, and then he talks through what are some alternatives to those tools. When you're teaching something else, how can you make those ideas stick?
And that's another workshop that we can do at your church too, because one thing we've talked about is that, the majority of Sunday school class teachers, Bible study leaders are untrained, but awesome Christians. And God has called these people to minister to their church. And if we can give you some quick tools and tricks that we learned that make it so much easier to be so much more impactful, that's a win-win for everybody all around. So we're excited to also help out with those tools too. And I was really surprised, because I think going into the Moving Beyond lecture, I thought would be more challenging than it was. Because here's the thing, is that we are all learners, and we have all received information from teachers, all of us. And we've all seen it done badly, and we've all seen it done well. If you've taught, you've done it badly, and hopefully have done it well. And so whenever I was going through this material, it was very much, yeah, no, that makes total sense. I can see that in my own life, or I can see that in somebody else's. It's such easy to follow stuff. And knowing these things really frees up, because we use up so much brain space trying to figure out how to present this in an exciting way. And when we use up our brains trying to figure out something that we don't know how to do, then it removes brain space we can spend on the word and the topic itself in prayer. So we can give you some quick tricks that are easy to pull out, then you have more brain space and you can be like, oh, I know how to do this. Boom, done. And feeling more confident.
Absolutely.
We're excited to share more. We will definitely be sharing more. We're eager to get home and go to bed and then spend some time resting, go through the materials again together and kind of get our thoughts organized, make a plan. But yeah, we are excited to see what God's going to do with all this stuff.